Hey Futini, I hope you're feeling okay. I hope everything's sorting itself out with your discussion in your heart from Sweetie, sweet and cool. I said I would send you a video about how to feel a feeling. Okay, so it's something that I learned recently, and it's really helped me because I was always terrified to feel my feelings, and that would actually create the resistance. And the more we resist our feelings, the more actually they reside, and they stay inside us. So this is a tool that I learned to feel the feelings, and it's less overwhelming. So it's scary a little bit. You have to be very courageous to feel our feelings, but mostly as soon as we have a feeling, we actually are taught from our childhood to go into our mind and think about it. So what happened? Why do you feel that way? Rather than what do you feel? So I'm trying to model to my daughter, and at the same time, explain to her that or ask her when she's going through a feeling. I ask her, what is she feeling and where is she feeling it? So those two questions are very different from why are we feeling it, which is about the story of why we're feeling angry because somebody did something to us, or somebody this, or somebody, or something that. Okay, so this is the difference is that we're asking a question of what am I feeling. So the first question is when you're feeling it. So how to feel a feeling. The first question is what am I feeling? Okay, it's the feeling of actually giving a name to our feeling. So we've got different emotions and different feelings and the sensation in our body. So the emotion, so we give the emotion a name. So I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling frustrated, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling happy, joyful, but we can also do it for beautiful feelings. It doesn't always have to be bad feelings, but we generally want to avoid the bad feelings and feel the good ones. Bad and good obviously being in so first of all, feeling the feelings. Sorry, it's my first time doing a video, so I'm a bit nervous. So let's feel the feeling. Feel the feeling and calibrate to what number out of 10 is. Sorry, I'm just thinking my daughter's coming back now. What number out of 10 is it? So is it a 4 out of 10, or is it a 5 or an 8 out of 10? Okay, so obviously the higher the number, the more intense the feeling, and that is more difficult in the initial phases of learning how to feel a feeling. So we start with one that's slightly lower, so it's not too overwhelming and too scary. So that's what I suggest. Start with a 4 or a 5. So when we start with a naming of the feeling or the emotion, and then we go with a calibration of the emotion, and then we go where. So what am I feeling, and then where am I feeling it? And there's always a sensation that follows that is tied with a feeling. With the emotion, sorry. So there is always a feeling in the body, a sensation. So where am I feeling it in my body? And this brings us out of our headspace again and into our body, to the now, but also to actually gain like a map. We start mapping it out in our brain, in our body. Sorry. What is the feeling and where we're feeling it? And then it's how does that feel? So what, how much, where, and then how does it feel? So does it feel? I feel it in my stomach. It feels tight. We can use metaphors like the size of a bowl. What size is it? What color is it? What texture? Is it spiky? Is it rounded? Is it smooth? because there's not enough, we don't really have enough words in our vocabulary to actually explain, a feeling or a sensation. So it's like, it's quite difficult. It's tight, it's bubbly. I don't know. It's, they're, what are the things? So the color, the size, the texture, the, where, yeah. So any words that we can use to describe the feeling. Okay, so we feel it in our stomach, and it feels like this. Okay, so this is the sensations. So then once we start feeling them, we actually, it's counterintuitive. What you do, instead of like trying to press it down, or you let it out of your body, so you allow it by breathing and focusing on visualization. Visualizing the feeling, the emotion, whatever it might be, the color coming out or the texture that's coming out, and you allow it to come out of your body, so it expands. This is counterintuitive. So you allow the to expand and take over, not take over the body, but come out of the body actually, and expand into as much space as it needs. And this could be, in the room. I mean, it can even go out the windows and out. And, I often think about it as light or smoke, like breathing out smoke, or the emotion or the feeling or the attachment that we have. And the expansion is it was so counterintuitive to me to just allow it to expand out. And this is so beautiful, because then you can actually start associating and disassociating. So you can actually see, you can start thinking about what percentage of this feeling, the sensation, is actually mine. Is it 60% mine and 40% somebody else's, or is it 50-50 or whatever? So then immediately this kind of energy, you kind of send it back to the sender, the person who sent it to you, or the person who it's come from. So you can just kind of give the intention to send it back to the person it's coming from. So once you've got an idea of how much is it mine and how much is it theirs, without any blame or shame or negativity, it's just sending it back, the energy, to them. And then you're left with a percentage which is yours, and that is much more doable to explore, and there's not so much overwhelm. So this is this is the trick. So once you've expanded it out of your body, you can play with this. It's all about playing and seeing what visualizations work for you and whatever. And then what you do is you regulate your body. We can talk about that in the next video. Is regulating your emotion, your regulation of yourself. So self-soothing, which is, there's different forms like grounding, or there's havening. It's called havening, which is just rubbing your hands up and down your arms, which is a very, very soothing, very, very slowly at the same time as breathing. There's grounding, when you feel like your root chakra goes to the earth, and you're the flow. So there's various different techniques which we can talk about in the next video. But so you basically you self-regulate your emotions at this moment once you've identified how much is yours, and then it's hanging out in those feelings. So with the intention that, and behind every feeling, so the deep sadness that you're feeling, or the deep, sometimes I have, this anger that shows, have a lot of shame and resentment about feeling these feelings of anger. And then at the end of the insight, at the end of the feeling, or the end of, where is it again? You go back into your body sensations. Where is it? You identify how much is better, how does it feel after it's been expanded out, and how much is yours. And so there's a kind of like a cycle. There's a maximum 5-7 minute cycle that happens depending on how intense the feeling is, that actually once you've felt it and you've given it, I'm here, I'm honoring you, I'm feeling you, I'm listening to you, what do you want to tell me? this kind of intention towards your feeling is again a game changer, because you just suddenly you realize that they're sacred. Feelings are sacred. They're coming from the divine. I don't know the words for that you like to hear to use, but for me it's they're giving us a very, very, very unique signature or message, and most of the time we don't get them because the message is lost in the mental upstairs thinking rather than the feeling part. So I encourage you to try this technique out. It's been a game changer for me, and whatever other question, if you've got any other questions or anything else, just let me know. I think that's about it. Staying with your feelings and waiting for the insight, and you will see that usually at the end of the insight, or the end of the feeling, the cycle of feeling that you're feeling in your body, there's a message there. So, and then obviously write it down. Okay, so I hope that helped. Lots and lots of love, and let me know what you think about my first video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.